better act right. I knew I was live, folks. I don't talk to her like that. How is everybody doing? So excited to be here tonight. Tons of stuff to talk about right off the bat. And I mean, it's just going to be a very eventful stream. Got a lot of kind of updates to do, stuff that we've been doing over the last week, places that we've gone over the last week, and just the absolute exhaustion that we've been faced with over the last week or so. So welcome. I think we're going to have some fun here tonight.
Yeah. I'm just trying to get ready. I made sure I pulled this up. I'm talking into it.
Thank you.
It takes me 5 minutes just to get my tablet to pull YouTube up because I'm not really here until I can see myself.
Yeah, I understand. So I got a long list of things here to talk about. Of course, Honey is going to want to make an appearance. She's putting her hair in your drink. Take a look. See, we got to show this. You got to show that cup.
This is so
now,
cute.
I mentioned it last week. I think I mentioned it, that somebody had said that they sent some stuff to us at our post. Put it up there so they can see it.
I did.
But get it close. There you go. So this was sent to us by someone that lives in King George. This is somebody that we've met in person a couple of times. And he is, I don't know if he wants me to talk about who he is on YouTube and all that kind of stuff, but he has a business doing these, as well as, let me show you. He did this, a mouse pad. Not everybody uses mouse pads anymore, but I do every single day, which that thing is very, very cool. And he's also going to get a couple of shirts made up for us that are the KG Tropicals logo, the red and blue fish logo, which is very, very cool. So hopefully, maybe we'll be wearing those shirts next week or something. And if it's something that looks really good and that you would want, the people watching, then maybe that's something we'll end up getting a whole bunch of them made and have them available on the website. We'll have to see. But last weekend was a big one. That was a big one for us. We kind of let the secret out of the bag multiple times that we are indeed going to be selling bettas on our website. I saw somebody in the chat earlier asking about it. We've got them. They're here, but they're not available yet. Some of them are on the website. They're there to look at. They're not there to purchase yet. But if you want to head over there, you can see some of them. What we're going to do with these bettas, every single fish is going to have a video of that exact fish and photos.
Right.
And so it is going to be what you see is what you get type thing, which is very cool, but it's also very time consuming. So we're working on that right now. I got about 15 or so fish put up there today, just kind of experimenting with how the whole process is going to go. So if you want to see videos of them, head to the website, keepfishkeeping.com. On the left, there is a button that says live betas and it says coming soon. So don't get too excited. There are some in there that you can look at. Don't have photos yet, but we do have the videos of those fish, and I'll be working on those over the course of the next week. We're thinking maybe, hopefully, next weekend, they would go up for sale and be ready to go. Maybe even during next week's stream. Who knows? We'll have to see. But we went down there on Saturday to pick up the fish. It was a long day.
It was so much fun.
We didn't get done till almost 3 a.m.
Yeah.
Because, bettas, I got something in my eye. I'm sorry. It's driving me crazy. One of the great things about bettas is that they do ship very, very well. We didn't have to ship these fish. We went there to pick them up. But the reason why I mentioned that they ship well is because if we had wanted to, why is my chat just dead? Like nothing's happening in the chat.
There's plenty going on in mine. So
I don't know. It died on mine, but I'll have to refresh that if you ever talk. But we could have, we picked them up. It was in the evening, and then we went out to dinner. And then we drove the 4 hours home in a U-Haul truck.
No,
it was miserable.
You drove the U-Haul.
I drove the U-Haul truck.
I drove my car.
And we could have waited until the next morning and it would have been totally fine, but we were excited and it was like, no, we got the tanks. We got it all set up. Let's just do it now. And so we got all of the tanks put away that night, labeled. It was a lot of...
Don't forget about carrying the racks in. Jeez.
Yeah, that wasn't very much fun either. But one of the really good things about this particular breeder farm that we're dealing with is he had a bunch of racks that he wasn't using and he just said, take them. So that's what we had the U-Haul truck for. We didn't buy so many fish that we needed a U-Haul truck. We had the U-Haul truck to pick up the racks. I'll show these all in video. You'll see all of it coming up. And that will be a lot of fun. It's driving me crazy that the chat is dead on mine. Nope. I don't know what happened there, but so it was an absolute blast. It was exhausting, and we've been working nonstop ever since.
Let me say a few words.
Please
and my
do.
favorite part about the whole thing was that I got to handpick every single betta. I picked out each betta that we brought back. So I'm really excited about that. And I definitely got several females, so it's not just males. And the thing is, the females, they're just as gorgeous as the males. So my purpose for getting them wasn't because I was hoping, oh, I hope people come and buy them so that they can make a sorority out of them. I want people to buy them because they're just beautiful females and treat them just like they would the males because they're so gorgeous and they have a lot of personality. So I'm really excited about that. And I've been taking care of these bettas. Let me tell you, I just had no idea that, you know, when you have your own tanks, you know, your own aquariums to take care of, it kind of made me forget about what it felt like owning a fish store, because with them being in the cubes that they're in, they're not in little cups on a shelf, but being in the cubes that they're in, they still need to be taken care of every day and get water changes and fed and all that. So it takes a long time. I mean, at least 3 hours or so just to go through all of them to make sure they're cleaned up and doing good.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of work, but it's different when you love doing what you do.
Exactly. And I have so much fun because they each have their own personality. I don't even know. I'm going to feel really weird about getting rid of them because I love them already.
I knew that would happen. So now, one of the things that's interesting about this whole thing was I decided to use some footage of some of the fish that we will have for sale on the website on the video that we uploaded on Tuesday. Just because, why wouldn't I? I mean, they're right there. So we got the footage of them and put them up on that video. And there were quite a few comments that were of the negative variety. Now, I understand most people have common sense and they understand the deal with those fish. They know what's going on. But of course, because there are a lot of people that go online looking for problems, that's what they do. There were quite a few people that commented how hypocritical we are because we preach to people that they should keep bettas in a 5-gallon or more tank. Mm-hmm. And here we are putting them in these cubes. What these people don't consider is the fact that we are selling these fish. These are not our pets. We're not keeping them in there as our pets. That's where they're going to spend their entire lifetime. They're in there very temporarily until we sell them to you. And then they're going to go and be in your tank, which is hopefully 5 gallons or more. I also commented on the video that I did, that same video, about there's going to be a lot of people with smaller betta tanks that are going to want to buy the betta water. And people took offense to that. Like, you're supposed to have them in bigger and listen, I can't control what size tanks people put their bettas in. I wish I could, but I can't. I wish there was some kind of form that had to be signed. If you're going to buy a betta from us, you're going to put them in at least 5 gallons. We would never sell a fish. I mean, it just wouldn't work. So we can't control anything like that. We're hoping that people are going to have them in larger tanks. But in the video, when I was referring to smaller tanks, I was talking about like 5-10 gallons. I'm a monster fish and a big fish guy. I like African cichlids. I like arowanas, big tanks. So a 5 and 10 gallon tank, those are small tanks to me.
Right.
And so when I say smaller tanks, that's what I was referring to. But I wanted to get into something that's kind of interesting. And this is just me maybe, kind of standing on my soapbox here for a minute. But because there were a lot of people, again, commenting that we had them in these small cubes and that we were being cruel to them by doing that. First of all, have you ever seen a betta farm? But anyway, I wanted to show what we're doing because I don't know if people realize kind of, what these fish are actually in. These are the cubes that we have that we're keeping the fish in. They're 6 inches by 4 inches by 7 inches tall, which you look at that and you're like, well, that's kind of small. Like, the video, there's half the water in it. So when you watch the video, it was like, man, that betta doesn't have all that much room. But here's the thing. This is what we're all used to seeing bettas in. In fact, this one still has the tag on it that says assorted female. This is what we're all used to seeing, and we're all also used to seeing these with the water about that far, not even all the way or halfway full. This is what we're all used to seeing. It's unfortunate, but I guarantee you it's something around 95% of pet stores are selling their bettas in these cups. We all know about these cups. Every single one of you have seen these. I have gone to I don't even know how many pet stores I've gone to in my life, probably well over 100. And I've seen exactly one fish store that was not using these.
In person, but we do know.
Sure, yeah. There's some, Corey has the Aqua One system, same size tanks, by the way. There's others, that are doing that. Mm-hmm. But the one I've seen in person is Nova Tropicals. They have the same system that Aquarium Co-op has. Every single other one has these, okay? So these I have a problem with too. We all do.
And see, that's Petco.
This is Petco.
PetSmart is even smaller. Theirs are like that big around.
Making my point for me even more. So I've actually brought one of these over. It doesn't have a fish in it, but to show you the level of water, this is how far we fill them up to, okay? That's what we're putting bettas in right there. This is what you're used to seeing bettas in. Okay? Here's the mic drop moment right here. So if you think that we're not doing right by them, what I will tell you is we're doing a whole lot better than most. A whole lot better than probably 95% of the fish stores out there. That's all that needs to be shown right there. That's the difference between what we're doing and what a lot of other stores, most other stores, are doing. Before everybody starts putting a list out there of all of the stores that have these available, I understand, but what I'm telling you is in Northern Virginia, we've seen one that's done that. Everyone else, mom and pop stores, big box stores, Walmarts, they're all doing this. Not Walmarts anymore, but you know what I'm saying. So I'm proud of what we're doing. I think we're doing right by them because a lot of people are doing this. So we could do that and it'd be easy. We just wouldn't have to show them on video. We could take these, we could have all of our fish in them, and then we could put a betta in one of these to take the pictures, to make it look like this is what we're using. No, I'm going to show you, not right now because I can't pick the camera up and move with it, but I'm going to show you in videos where all of these fish are, what they're being kept in, and all of that kind of stuff. And I think you'll find that we're going above and beyond what most people do. And that's kind of the whole point. What we want to be able to do is provide an experience of buying a betta that is not like anyone else. That's what we're trying to do.
They're getting their own decorations probably next week.
Yes, we did not have them sent to us for free. We didn't even make them aware that this was happening. Actually,
well,
you did message Candy, but
just
we
to make sure there was enough.
We bought 100 Anubias Nanopetites from Aquarium Co-op last night. And
there'll be a few.
Did they ship today? I don't know.
there's going to be quite a few that don't have the little plant, but we're working on that. You can only do so much at a time at some point, but they'll just get an extra Indian almond leaf or something.
Yeah, I mean, we will eventually have them in all of them, but we've spent a lot of money over the last few weeks. But for now, we've got 100. We got 135 bettas that we picked up last weekend.
It was more than that.
I thought it was. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it was like 150.
Okay, whatever. We can say that, but I think it's
130. I picked a few more out when you turn around, and I was like, I want this one, and let me go ahead and get that one,
and see, I got to tell this story because this is a special story. When it comes to when I'm not looking, this is a very cool story, and I cannot wait to share this with all of you. But again, it's way over there, and if you look, I can move the camera. You can see we have a curtain up now. It's a blanket, and it looks nice. It's not too terribly done.
But
that's to keep the heat in there. It's a tablecloth.
Tablecloths.
And that's to keep the heat in that room.
I insisted. I was like, we've got to make sure they stay nice and warm and cozy.
It's still very hot down here, but
it's really hot down here.
But the cool thing is we are working with Tu Tran. I don't know how familiar everyone is with him. If you're in the betta world, you know who Tu is. Everybody knows who Tu is. He owns NC Bettas. That's who we're working with to get our bettas to sell to you. And that's where we went on last Saturday. And he had this fish in there. And one of the things that he is known for is putting his bettas in shows and winning a lot of shows. I think he won at the Aquatic Experience in 2019, I think, didn't he?
I know he won like best in show or something.
Yeah.
I'm not
Well,
exactly
the fish,
sure.
I think, geez, Lefty, good grief. we'll come back to you. The fish that he won with at the Aquatic Experience, he had there that day. It's a Nemo. I'm a sucker for Nemos. I love them. And I kept looking at this fish. It was with the others. It was for sale.
But the premium, though.
And they're premium ones.
Yeah.
And I kept looking at him, and I kept saying while I'm in there, oh, that's my guy. Like I feel like I need to get that fish and not even have him for sale. Just have him for me. Well, anyway, the day was chaotic. It was crazy. And we get home at whatever midnight it was. We're unpacking the fish, and sure enough, that fish was bagged in the box, and it said special for John.
I wrote that because he handed it to me, and he was really sneaky about it. He handed it to me in the bag, and he was like, "This is for John," and I was like, well, I'll go ahead and write, the little message on there for him so I don't get him confused with the other Nemos. And that was so cool.
It was I almost cried that night. It was like, oh, I can't believe he did that. So the fish's name is My Guy.
My Guy. Instead of like My Girl.
His name's My Guy. I even have it labeled on his tank. He is in a 2.5 gallon tank right now that I don't know. I mean, he might stay in there for a little bit until I get something, but that's where he is right now.
And heated.
It's
don't
filtered.
Worry.
Yeah. Don't worry. Nobody freak out. It's amazing. I mean, I love that fish.
Freed up 10 gallons. So, because I keep mine.
But I'd never see him
10s.
over there. But anyway, he is an awesome fish. This is a show-winning fish, and he's mine. You can't have him. You can't have him either. So it was very, very cool, very exciting. I've seen a lot of people asking when are the fish going to be for sale. We're shooting for next weekend, but the thing is we do have to have kind of everything in order. Things need to be in line.
Yeah.
I want to make sure everything's right because what I'm really focusing on is not allowing the customers to get ripped off with shipping. I'm not trying to make any money on shipping. There's a lot of different ways that you can do shipping live fish. It could be a flat rate thing and you lose money on some and you make money on some. I'm not interested in making money on shipping. So I'm trying to get it all worked out to where there's not going to be any losing money on shipping and there's not going to be you paying extra for shipping. and us just basically putting that money in our pocket. We don't need to make money on shipping. I just don't want you to get ripped off. So
I think the best solution as far as when we put them up to should be after the election, so that we're not dealing with the postal service stuff.
yeah,
So
we're not
it
shipping
might
fish
be-
before the election.
Yeah,
That's
it
not
might
going to
be
happen.
a little bit after, like maybe the day after or something. So
That's still 2 weeks away. But anyway, yeah, that's what our plan is. Very exciting stuff. I mean, just stuff happening. It's nonstop, and it's exciting, and it's fun.
yeah,
And I can't wait to have them up there. Like I said, they will be going up on the site as we get closer and closer to the date, but you're just not going to be able to order them. I debated with myself, do I put them up there as like a teaser and start getting the emails that say, can you hold that one for me? And I really don't want that. But I figured it was a nice way to give you an idea of what's coming. And, but we got to take pictures of all these fish too. That's your job.
yeah.
My job is to video
I'll
them
be-
and put them on the
I'll be
site.
taking the pictures.
So yeah, it's a lot of fun, very exciting stuff. And there you go. Real quick, something about 10 things. And this is very cool. We've already had a really good response on it. 10 things is kind of what put us on the map. If you're brand new to this channel, the top 10 lists that we were doing, they're definitely what catapulted us to where we are. We just passed 250,000 subscribers. Huge milestone. Very happy about that. Thank you. And we did that on the same day that Aquarium Co-op passed 500,000,
It
which
was
is
so cool.
what a day that was. It was an amazing day for both of us. So very cool. 10 things is kind of what got us there. And I'm aware of that. And, you know, when you find something that the people connect with and they like and they want to see more of, you want to produce more. It gets very, very difficult because you hit that wall. And I said, you know what? Let's do something fun. Let's involve the channel members in 10 things. So what I'm doing is I am putting posts up each week that are to channel members, and I'm giving a topic and I'm letting the channel members comment on that. Like, give us your thing you think people should know about that particular topic. And when we're sitting down to write the video, I'll pick from those and we'll include some, if not all of them, or who knows? It might be the entire video might be stuff that are from the channel members. So very cool. I spammed the members yesterday. I put 5 posts up because I wanted to give 4 topics to give us a head start on it. So if you are a member, I apologize for your phone going bleep, 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 bleep every 15 minutes. But yeah, make sure if you are a channel member, you have notifications turned on, because you're not going to want to miss that post that goes up every week. And you're not going to want to miss the members only fish room tours that we did. Yes. We had a banger today, folks. That was impressive what we saw today. They've all been impressive, but today we had some big bangers. We had a 650-gallon tank today. Unbelievable. So yeah, channel members are getting a little spoiled lately, and I like that. That's what I want to do. So if you're interested in participating in that, if you are a channel member, just be looking in the community page on our channel and look at those posts. Put your suggestions. We might not be able to use them all, but we'll certainly try. So, okay. I don't have anything else to talk about on my list until we get into the main topic, but you have a couple things.
Oh, I got something in the mail this week that I thought was really cool. And honey, you're going to have to get down, please. I'm sorry, honey. I got the coolest little thing I've ever seen. And
why we can't come up with these ideas, I don't know.
I can't even believe how cool this is. It can go in a 5-gallon, a 10-gallon. You could get like 30 of them if you wanted to and stick it in a 240-gallon. But anyways, the reason why I thought this was so cool is because it's just, you know, when you go to a fish store, a pet store, and you're like, oh, I really like this plant, but I don't have time to like scape my tank right now or whatever, and you just stick the whole pot down in the tank and you just let it sit there until you're ready to do something with it. Or maybe you really don't know what to do with it, and you just kind of put it in the ground or in the gravel, or you wedge it in between two rocks or something. Well, the coolest little thing came in the mail this week, and I'm going to show it
You're
to
going
you.
to get the table out. Just pick the whole thing
I'm
up.
just going to pick this up and show you. This is a little plant holder. I don't even know what to call it.
It's called the Easy Planter.
The
Everything
Easy
is
Plant-
easy,
yeah,
remember?
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. The Easy Planter. And all you have to do is take that potted plant and just stick it right in there. And it, another cool thing about it too is that the bottom of it has a hole. So maybe you don't want to keep the pot in there, So you take the plant out of the pot, and I'm not going to say the Anubias, but maybe an Amazon sword or something like that needs to go in the substrate. You take it out of the pot, and you can actually plant it down in the substrate through the Easy Rock.
Because the hole goes all the way through.
Yeah, it goes all the way through, and it's such a cool decoration. It really, one of the things it reminds me of is the Universal Rocks background. Who knows? I don't know. Maybe that's where you got the idea from. But it's the coolest little thing I've ever seen, and I want to get a bunch more.
And I wish we could come up with ideas like that.
I want to get a whole bunch more because this thing is just so cute.
There's
had
one
it,
in the tank behind you,
yeah,
too.
I have one back there in my, what is that, 90 gallon? In my 90 gallon. I actually had this one back there in the 90 gallon. And I was like, well, I want to talk about this tonight because it's such a cool idea, but I don't want to, point, oh, over there. That's why I stuck it in this little container. So I could give you like a more close-up.
Yeah, that's not its permanent home.
Yeah. But it's just the coolest little thing. And
All right, tell the story. Now, we're not doing those are from Aquarium Co-op, by the way. You weren't very clear about that.
I'm sorry.
Everybody should know that if you don't
Yes.
know that already. Again, I don't know if Corey comes up with all these things or if but it's genius, and I'm so jealous of that level of genius. But there's another thing that involves Aquarium Co-op.
Okay, so this is the week for
I wanted to tell the story, but you won't let me.
This is the week for Aquarium Co-op in our home. And it's so funny because as soon as this happened, I messaged Katie. And I was like, Katie, you're not going to believe this. And I told her the story.
Katie is Corey's wife, for
Yes.
those that don't know.
Okay.
Well, they might not know. She's not on the
We've
videos,
been really...
I'm
It's my
sorry.
turn. So, I'm just teasing you. So, we've been really busy. I've gotten behind on a lot of stuff, like everything. Just like, grocery shopping, everything around the house has gotten a little bit behind. And laundry. Laundry has piled up a little bit in my house. So, I realized how badly I got behind when John came upstairs. I had already been in bed because I'm like, I go to bed early. But I was laying in bed, going through Facebook, and I look up, and John's walking by with
This is a true story.
one of these in the pack still, because we have like 10 of them in the pack. And I was like, what are you doing with that? Well, we ran out of towels. So John dried off that night after taking a shower with an Aquarium Co-op towel. And I must say, he did not leave a drop on the floor, and he was 100% dry. So these towels are the best, just so you know.
You're being a little dramatic there, but it is true. I mean, it didn't do as well drying my big self off with that maybe a beach towel would, or bath towel, regular size bath towel, but it did the trick. It did the job. And when I was done drying off, I hung it up on the towel rack, and it was sitting there so pretty. And so Corey has now infiltrated our bathroom, which is a real nice thing. So,
Yeah.
But hey, you know what? But I'm glad you mentioned that it was in the pack, because I didn't just get done like wiping down the tanks and all of the algae and then go dry myself off with it. No, it was brand new out of the plastic. And yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah.
Only one night I had to do that. But that's, hey, you got to do what you got to do. I wasn't going to use paper towels, that's for sure. So it worked. So Yeah. Enough advertising for Corey. Geez, he's had enough advertising tonight. Let me go through some of these real quick because I don't want them to pile up like they always do because our viewers are so, they just spoil us so much. Josh Share with the $2.99. Check out My Octopus Teacher on Netflix. I have not heard of that, but I did just finish Haunting of Bly Manor last night, and that was awesome. Elizabeth Hughes with the $1.49. Thank you so much. Rob Pinkman with the $5 would love prepay for a particular beta. You see, that's what's happening.
Yep.
And you know, I don't know. I don't know. We'll have to see. But thank you for that. I think it's going to be a mad rush when we actually do put them up there for sale. But Fish Tank Barn Beta Water Slushy Fund Cherry flavored, of course. That's good.
Of course, cherry.
Absolutely.
For your gout.
Yeah, because it's gone now. I don't have it anymore.
That's because I've been giving you all those cherries. I get him cherries. He mixes it with like Greek yogurt. I get him little cherry pies.
Yeah, cherry pies.
Yeah.
Eating a cherry pie and acting like that's getting my fruits for the day is like you saying you're drinking grape juice when you drink wine.
Whatever. Fruit is fruit.
But yeah, the gout is gone. So for now, we'll have to see.
Knock on wood.
Somebody commented in the chat, John, help her out with the chores. I do plenty. It's not, I do plenty around here. It's not, but I just don't do laundry because that, thankfully, you do.
I was waiting for
Except
you to
for
say,
that day.
That's your job.
No, I did not say that. I would not say that. Baby Foods GT, will you be selling king betas? We don't have any right now. I don't know. I don't know that we would. I'm not opposed to it. I wouldn't want to put them. I mean, I guess I could. We could fit them in here. I mean, they sell them in these at the big box stores.
Yep,
so
that's why I got George.
Yep, and
you got
Scott.
Yeah, Scott.
Monday O'Reilly, I got my package from y'all, and the bubble sticker is even cuter in person. Thank you for the lovely email, John. It really made my day. Email. Did we email each other? Or was it the little message?
The note, yeah.
Maybe that was. Yeah, well, you're very welcome. Thank you for ordering from us. That is awesome.
Yeah.
Furloughs with the $15. Been building fences all week, so it's nice to be here with you guys and not staring at lumber for days.
Wow. Yeah, I bet.
I sure. But see, since I don't do it for a living anymore, when I see a stack of wood, I'm like, oh, the things I could do with that. So I don't know, but
good, because I need some more plant shelves.
I know you do. I know what it's like though when you do it for a living. You're like the last thing I wanted to do when I got home for the last 10 years was fix furniture. So I get it. The cobbler's kids have no shoes, right? Stephen P. 2003, monies is a weird word. Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah.
I've never really looked at it that way, but yeah, sure. Bonnie Eden, just here's money. That's all. There's no text with it. So thank you so much for that, Bonnie. Fishroom Fever pooped on us like he does every single week. And we got to get to Lefty because we'll get to the main topic after Lefties. Eric, I'm not going to try, Eric. I'm sorry. No disrespect, but I really don't want to embarrass myself by mispronouncing your name. Welcome to the team. We're excited to have you. You're going to be able to suggest to us not topics, but things for 10 things. So that's going to be so much fun for all of us. Kimberly Bryant, do plants help with nitrites and nitrates? No, they're not going to help with nitrites, at least not that I've ever known. But nitrates, yes. So, but they're not going to be the be-all problem solver. If you've got super high nitrates in your tank, putting a couple plants in there is not going to make them go away. We need to do some maintenance on there,
Right.
get things under control on our own. The plants are just like a really nice added bonus to that. So, but nitrites, no. If you've got nitrites in your tank, you've got a problem, and plants are not going to do anything for that. So, microfluorin, can yellow labs go in a 29-gallon tank? I don't want to see them spend their entire life in a 29-gallon tank because
babies for a little while.
Yeah, they stay small for quite some time. but I don't want to see them stay in there forever. I hope that makes sense. So maybe get them up to 75. That'd be good. But if you're going to have them in a 29 for, let's say, a year, I think you'll be fine. You just can't put 62 of them in there. You need to keep the numbers small because they're rambunctious. They're moving all over. They are eating constantly and they're pooping. So be aware of that. Lefty, lots of numbers, comes in with the $50 just to tell us that we are awesome. Really, it's you. It's not me. We know it's not me. I mean, come on. I'm smart.
Lefty's pretty awesome himself, so.
He absolutely is. Wow, 50. And then I'm not going to skip you, Morgan. Don't worry. But then comes in with 100 for the Betta Cup Plant Fund.
Aww.
I don't know why you're spoiling us so much. You're a good dude. We know each other now. We've spent some time together. It sounded really weird, but you know what I mean. Hey, I mean, why you're giving us all this money? Mind blown. I don't know what we've done to deserve that, but thank you, because we do have a lot more plants to buy.
Yeah.
Because we have the racks that we have set up right now can accommodate 200 of these. I almost picked this up and threw it over.
Wow.
200 of these is what we can have. And that's just on 2 racks. Because if you look at them, that's 2. I don't even know if I'm centered on the camera because I can't see myself, but that's the width of 2 of them. So they go a long way. They don't take up a whole lot of room.
And they could go on either side.
We have them up against the wall, yeah. But you have the top shelf and then all of the other shelves. So we're going to get even more of them. And so that will come in very much handy. Thank you so much. Morgan H +1 for adding catappa leaves in each betta tank. Absolutely.
Yep. And the black water.
The dark water, yeah. The way we set those tanks up that night was we actually bought water because it was late.
We looked really funny walking through Target.
We pulled a U-Haul up to Target and we bought it was like 40 to 50 1-gallon jugs of Deer Park water.
Right.
And we walked up to the counter.
Because our bettas deserve the best water.
We walked up to the counter with 2 shopping carts full of water bottles. And the lady leans over to her manager. She's like, "Is there a limit on water bottles?" She didn't think we could hear her. And I said, "Hey, I didn't see any signs. We left some. We didn't take them all." And she said, "No, there's no limit."
The ones on the end cap, not the ones on the shelf.
Yeah, well, we cleaned the shelf out, but they were in another area. But we took those and we treated each one with dark water. And that's, we don't have the leaves yet. We're getting a big giant thing of them that we'll be able to use in our own. And we'll also maybe even be able to make our own dark water. And we'll be able to sell them if people are interested in those. So I personally would rather not have them in these because it just kind of makes it look dirty. And I want it to look more like we're going to have a nice little Anubias plant in there.
If you cut it and just do like a teeny little piece of it, just so there's a piece in there to help to keep, the
and that's
water
exactly
healthy.
what they did when we went and bought them. Every single one had a piece of the catappa leaves in there. So, yeah, I mean, it's an awesome thing. And, I definitely encourage all betta keepers to use it. I just don't know that we're going to do that. And we end up having 300 of these things and cutting up leaves and all. I don't know. The dark water is just so much easier. So anyway, but yeah, it's definitely something that we encourage people to do. Especially in a heavily aquascaped betta tank, which most people's betta tanks are. You got a leaf in there. Nobody's going to see it. So
I definitely keep it in all of my sororities and stuff. So,
yep.
Because I've had people comment, "Why aren't there Indian almond leaves in your tank?" And I have some in there. They're not a lot. I mean, I don't have it like all over the bottom, like substrate everywhere, but I have a couple just kind of broken up in there. But I use the dark water, so you can't see that.
Yeah, I mean, if you put enough of it in there, you can see it, but it's not. you got to put a lot in to really make a difference. Watch the video. Nobody's watched that video. It was a total bomb, and that's okay. I mean, you know, you can't win them all. But yeah, anyway, bringing 10 things back this weekend. So that'll be a lot of fun. Now, we stopped off at Lefty. Don't worry. Anybody else that is crazy enough to, for whatever reason, send money to us, we will definitely shout you out after we talk about this main topic. I see you, Fishy Biz. I see you. Don't worry. Real versus fake. And I kind of realized when I put on the thumbnail, are they real? That's kind of like, you know, that, you understand where I'm going with that?
Only you would go there.
But every man goes there. That I didn't even realize that.
There's a lot of women in chat too.
I didn't realize that when I did it. It was like, okay, I hope people don't think it's clickbait.
Probably most people didn't realize that you did it either till you brought it up.
Well, I mean, it's there in big text. It's are they real? I mean, you know, the classic Seinfeld episode. They're real and they're magnificent. Anyway, Terry Hatcher, real versus fake plants. This is something that there's plenty of debate out there. And I think that if you're familiar with our videos, you're probably going to think that I feel a particular way. As in, like, I am against live plants. And that could not be further from the truth. That's absolutely not true. I just don't, except for Scott over there, and now my guy. You got to come on. That's the best name ever, my guy.
I named him.
You did no such thing.
I
was
too.
Standing there saying, that's my guy right there.
And I said, that's the perfect name, my guy.
Okay, yeah, you did suggest. Okay, sure, whatever. But whatever.
I know.
He actually has live plants in his tank, just so you know. But most of the fish that I keep, the larger cichlids and African cichlids and stuff like that, I don't mess around with live plants in those. But, I mean, that tank sitting behind you is absolutely stunning. All of your tanks that have live plants in them are stunning. I'm not against live plants at all. But we can still have a nice little discussion about them. We can still have some fun with it. We can talk about pros and cons either way. To real versus fake, we'll go real first. I mean, you're the bigger plant advocate than I am. You want to go with what pros for live plants?
Pros for live plants, it's healthier for your tank. It's healthier for the fish, as long as they're alive. Because once they start dying off, that is not healthy for your tank.
Got to get that death out of there.
Yeah, but I'm not a plant expert at all. I have some that I do well with. I have some that I will never buy again because I know I'll just kill it. But I mean, I prefer the Planet Tank, even if it's a whole bunch of the same thing, like Jungle Val. I do great with Jungle Val, and I can grow that with absolutely no problem. But you know what? Probably so can everybody else. So,
they can all boil water too.
Yeah. And Anubias, I do very well with that. Java Fern. And that's the funny thing about Java Fern, because I got a lot of hate for when I did Slim Shady's tank, because I did half fake with the glow decorations, and I did half Planet. And as far as the Java Fern goes, when I put it in, it did look like I buried it all the way, but it wasn't 100% buried. It was kind of up a little bit above the substrate, just a little bit, but the rhizomes were down a lot in the substrate. So I did get a lot of hate for that. But if you looked at the tank now, and I should do an update video on Slim Shady's tank and how he's doing, but those plants are alive and they're doing amazing and they are growing wonderfully. So.
And I know a certain certified master aquaculturalist.
Oh, when Corey was here.
Well, I was trying to keep it a mystery.
Oh. I said something to Corey about it, and I showed him and stuff. So
And he was like, "Hey, if it's working."
if it works, and it did work for me, but technically, yeah, you should attach it to a rock or a piece of wood, or even one of these little, you could put it in one of these little easy plant holders, but yeah. So
So back to the pros then.
mm-hmm.
I did write a few things down.
Oh,
You mentioned that they're healthier, and it's true. The reason why they are healthier for the tank is because they do help control nitrates, which is good, because we all get lazy from time to time. And if you have a very healthy aquarium with live plants, you will have to do less maintenance on the tank from a water change standpoint. A lot of people don't want to hear that, but it's true. You still have to do a lot of work because you're going to be putting a lot of fertilizers in there, and there's going to be algae, and there's going to be this, and there's going to be that. So it's not like you get off scot-free, but they're definitely going to help keep a healthier, more natural environment for your fish and help with controlling nitrates. So that's definitely a pro. And then the word natural, what's more natural than that, than live plants? I mean, most of your artificial plants, people can look at them and they can tell that it's artificial plants. I mean, especially when they're bright pink and bright purple. There are a lot of them out there that do a real good job of not looking fake, but, driftwood and stone and sand and plants or even the soils and stuff like that are for plants. What looks more natural than that? There really isn't anything. So if you want that natural look and you want the health benefits of the plants and all of that kind of stuff, live plants are absolutely the way to go. But they are, I don't care what anybody says, they are more work because it's an added thing. They're another expense too, because that's another, I know we're speaking, it doesn't, but it's another mouth to feed, even though they don't have mouths. But you have to fertilize the plants and all of these things. Now the fish are going to fertilize the plants on their own out of their butts, but that's, most people that are keeping live plants are going to fertilize the plants. So you have that. And then sometimes you might need to add other chemicals and stuff I'm not trying to act like I know what I'm talking about. I'm just saying this is just things that I know. So that's kind of getting into the cons of it, is that it is more work. Again, I don't care what anybody says. I will argue to the death that live plants are certainly more work than fake plants. Okay, nobody can dispute that.
but they look better.
They do look better, and they also cost a little bit more. A little more upkeep, cost a little bit more, because the plants themselves are not outrageously priced,
Right.
but you do have the added cost of the fertilizers and the iron and all of that stuff that you put in there, and the substrates. If you're going to go with those planted substrates, they are more expensive. So
Right.
pretty much you're taking things up another level as far as the expense goes.
I don't think you need the planet or the special substrates for plants if you get a good fertilizer. Get one for the substrate, get one for the water. Then you don't have to worry so much because that's going to help.
But a lot of people are naturally going to go that route. You want to set up that high-end planted tank, put that fancy substrate in there that costs double what gravel
Right.
and quadruple what sand costs. So
I'm learning from all of that you don't have to have the best when it comes to that kind of thing. You can just use regular substrate, mix it with some sand, in my one video, I'm like, I just got a hodgepodge of stuff for my substrate and my plants are doing great. So
I mean, I'm no expert, but I think there's a lot of people that would argue that certain plants do need certain substrates. But
okay.
we're not trying to teach you how to keep plants
And
here.
CO2.
I mean, there is next level even on top of the next level, but we're just basically talking about basic pros and cons of both of these. Pros, it's the most natural look you're going to have. There's the benefits of helping to control nitrates, making it an overall healthier environment for the fish. and nothing looks better than a planted tank. You want to get artsy, you want to go all crazy and make it look like you can do that. You're going to have a better chance at success at that with live plants. They're little pieces of art. They're awesome.
Yeah,
Downside, cost a little bit more work. That's about that. But then we get into the plastic plants, or I shouldn't say plastic plants, artificial plants, because there are the silk ones that look very realistic. Those are pretty expensive. In fact, they might be more expensive than live plants, the silk ones. But there is zero learning curve when it comes to fake plants. And I'm not trying to be a fake plant advocate here. I'm just saying, we're just having a conversation. But there is a learning curve with live plants. You can't just stick them in your tank. You have to learn how to keep them, just like you have to learn how to keep fish. Some plants, maybe not as much, but you don't need to know anything about keeping a live plant. You don't even have, or a fake plant. You don't even have to keep it in the water. You can put it in your toilet and pee on it, and it's still going to look exactly the same.
Wow.
When you put rubber gloves on and pull it out of the... Anyway, that was weird, and I don't even know why I went there, but no learning curve at all. You stick it in there. It's never going to die. It's never going to fall apart. It's never going to wither away. It's always going to look exactly the way it does until it grows algae on it, and that's just going to happen. You got to clean it off just like you would anything else, but it's always going to be what it is. It's not going to get any bigger. It's not going to wither away to nothing. So they're absolutely foolproof. There is no learning curve to them at all. So you cannot fail at fake plants. Some of them are very, very cheap. We have a lot on our website that are very inexpensive. And when you look at them in the package, it's like, wow, those look fake. But when you put them in the water and you get them in there and you're, they don't, you can tell. I mean, they don't look like real plants.
Even I like the feathery ones, like.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of these, though, they could fool a lot of people into thinking that they are live plants. Fake plants have come a long way since I started. When I started back in the day, they were like rigid. They were bad. I mean, fake plants were bad, but
I think a benefit to fake plants is if you do a mixed tank and you're waiting for your plants to grow. You can put a few of the fake plants in there. You
Fill
can
it in.
have, make it look more full, have some of the real plants in there. And then that way you get to learn how to take care of your tank and your plants for the first time and see what works for you, for your pH, because some plants do better with a higher pH or lower pH, and see if your lights are good enough for your plants, and play around with it so that way if one of your plants does die off, you still have the fake one there to kind of make your fish happy. Or you could go the opposite direction and your plants end up thriving and doing amazing, and then you just start plucking out the fake ones because you don't need them anymore.
the other thing too is that there are a lot of fish. We're selling bettas, so that's a big one there. Bettas are fish that love plants. They love swimming through them. They love swimming around them. They love laying on them and resting. And if you have a live plant and it dies, your beta's not going to have anywhere to lay down. Well, they'll go lay down on the substrate, but I'm being dramatic, but you know what I mean. You're not going to deprive the fish of having that. Or if you mix it, like you were saying, half and half in the beginning until your live plants take off, then if they do die off, they're still going to have the fake ones there. So,
Right.
And here's the funny thing about it. We sell a lot of artificial plants on our website. We should be totally poo-pooing live plants. We should be like, oh, they're terrible. You're going to hate it. Don't get them. They're the worst. You should buy them from us. No, we should be doing that. Good business people would do that, but I'm not interested in that because we'd be lying to you.
Yeah.
I mean, the live plants is taking this to another level. It is another side to this hobby that in my world, when I first started keeping fish, didn't exist.
Right.
I'm not saying there were no live plants. Obviously there were, but in my little circle, which was 3 people, nobody had any interest in keeping live plants back then. If you had plastic plants, you would get made fun of, and they would probably steal your lunch money. So, milk money, I should have said. But so in the beginning, to me, it would have been a completely foreign idea. But now I absolutely love them. I'm sitting here looking at this one, and I love it. And I clicked check out on 100 of them last night.
Right.
Which is kind of nuts. But so we definitely, both of us support live plants. We'd be lying to you if we tried to do some kind of sales pitch that, oh no, you should always use artificial plants. That would be nonsense.
I think when artificial plants come into the picture as being the most beneficial for somebody in fish keeping is when you're the new fish keeper and you're just learning how to take care of a fish. You know, you want to make sure you know everything about how to keep that fish alive. I think that's more important than having to worry about both, you know, plants and fish. So
it's a lot to take in.
You know, go with the fake at first, you know, add a couple of the easy plants too. I would do that. But, you know, if you're new to fish keeping or maybe you've been keeping fish forever and you just don't want to do with plants, then yeah, the fake ones are good, you know. But I don't think anybody can have a bad fish tank just because they choose one or the other. It's definitely a preference.
Yeah, it's all about what you want, what you enjoy. But I definitely agree. I mean, if somebody was to come to me, and I don't know that I've ever been asked this before, but if they were to say, I'm setting up my first tank, and I want to do this and this and this, these fish, should I start with live plants? I agree with you. I would probably say, let's not, because you got to learn how to keep the water healthy for your fish. Mm-hmm. And even though, you know, an ammonia spike isn't really going to kill your plants and stuff like that, but you got enough to learn, just learning how to keep fish alive. Because if you think about it, that's what we're in the business of, is keeping fish alive. You got to learn that. Once you get the hang of that, then let's start incorporating live plants, because there's no doubt there is a huge benefit to having live plants. We've gone over all of them and quite, you know, I think we've done a good job of going through what those benefits are. So we should all do it, but let's learn how to keep fish first. So if anybody ever asks me that, that's going to be my answer. And then, of course, you do have the idea, or not the idea, but the fact that some fish are just not going to allow you to have live plants. Right. I got a tank full of fish upstairs that they would not have it. They wouldn't even have fake plants. You bury fake plants in the gravel, guess what they're going to do? They're going to be floating the next morning because they're not going to let those plants stay down there.
That's why I'm so impressed when we see some of these members only walkthroughs and we see tanks that have some real plants or fake plants in there, and I'm looking at the fish that are in these tanks, and I'm like,
the rule book says you're not supposed to be able to do that.
They are such well-behaved fish.
Yep. Yep. I mean, it is true. And we've seen a lot of that. I mean, there was a time where if you were on YouTube and you had live plants in an African cichlid tank, people would laugh you right off the platform. But you see it all the time now. And I mean, that's just proof positive that, yeah, there are certain rules that we all need to follow, but the rule book can be bent a little bit in a lot of these things. And a lot of the stuff that you're taught, you know, you absolutely can't do that. Somebody out there has. And so I'm not advocating, you know, be a rebel and go out there, just do whatever you want. Put your Oscars with neon tetras. It's going to be fine. You know, somebody commented that. And it was a kid. I don't know how I know it was a kid. I just know it was a kid. And they did the whole thing. And this was recent. The whole thing with just get them all when they're small and they'll grow up. They were not going to eat each other because they're friends.
Right.
That happens all the time. It's a hard enough thing for me to act like I know what I'm talking about. But when I hope people don't go to the comment section to get their information, because a lot of it's really good. But boy, there's some stuff in there that is rough. So anyway, I don't think I have anything more to say about real versus fake. It's just fun to say that. I don't know. I'm a guy. I don't know what more you want me to say.
Okay.
Fishy Biz, boom, take that, haters. John's cup's way bigger. Yeah, I see what you did there. Yeah, that's, yeah, I mean, hey, facts are facts. And what we're doing is a whole lot better than what most people are doing. I'm not saying we're the best, but I can tell you this. Maybe they're out there somewhere. I have never seen in my lifetime, not on YouTube, not online anywhere, and certainly not in person. I've never seen somebody that sells bettas that has 1,000 bettas and they're all in individual 10-gallon tanks. I've never seen that. I'd like to, but I never have. So anyway, deep fried apple pie in my eye. Here's to the alphas of betta fish keeping. I know what you're doing there too. People making fun of the way we say betta. We both do it. We can't change it. And that's what's funny about that video that went up the other day. It was, there was a couple of people this time that were making fun of me for saying betta instead of betta. And it's like, I don't know. If I was going to make fun of somebody, which I never have, not in the comment section, I would just do it to their face. But
I know this man, he does.
I make fun of people all the time, but I'm not going to do it in the YouTube comment section. But if I saw something like that and I was like, I'm going to ridicule this person, I would look and I would see, oh, he's got 670 videos. I think it's pretty safe to say that he's not going to change the way he's saying that name of that fish. But nope, it's this long drawn out thing. You know, it's not the betta as in beta versus alpha. No, like, oh my God, come on. I want so bad when that happens. I want to be like, are you serious? I've never heard that. But you can't do that in text without coming across like a total jerk. People think I'm a jerk enough anyway. So, Fishy Biz comes back again and says, I mean his temporary betta tanks, maybe Lisa's cups. Now, see, now you're crossing the line. No, that's funny. He's been picking on you lately. Didn't he say something? I don't remember. You said something about the stream last night or something like that.
Oh, no. That was the joke that Aquafunk said that I can't share on the stream.
Okay, let's not.
Candy knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah, we need to make sure we keep it family friendly here, Fishy Biz. Jeez.
No, he didn't do anything wrong.
Oh, okay.
But it was a funny joke.
Reed, I'm going to say Schumacher, not Shoemaker. I think it's Schumacher. I can't wait to see all the bettas and get a couple. You guys rock. Yeah, like I said, I think there's like 15 of them up there now. They're not for sale yet. They're on the site, though, if you want to check them out. There's Hellboys and Nemos. Tomorrow I will be putting up the Koi Galaxies, the Black Samurais, and the Half Moons tomorrow. And the Blue Rims. Those are going to go, again, not for sale yet, but there will be videos of them. And the photos will be up whenever she gets a chance to do it. Have fun. Melissa Jeswald, how about a line of catnip toys in the shape of fish? Jax would love it.
Aw.
That's a cute idea. That has to be already done. It has to be already done.
So?
There has to have been somebody that's thought of that. But that is an adorable idea. Absolutely.
For our website. That's what she means.
I mean, we might as well sell a whole bunch of cat stuff because we're known for cats now because of you.
Yep.
Bill Danforth, one of my favorite skateboarders back in the day was a guy named Bill Danforth.
Ah.
And I met him one day and I had a broken arm and my arm was in a cast and I was humiliated when I had to tell him how I broke my arm because he was one of my favorite skaters and it was embarrassing the way I broke my arm skateboarding and I was not very happy to...
Was it stepping on it?
No, I was doing a trick and I fell, but the trick I was doing is like a basic thing that you're not supposed to break your arm doing, but I found a way. So that was kind of embarrassing, but it was cool to meet him and his name was Bill Danforth. If that's you, this is the best day of my life. My order came today. Oh, and he ordered from us. Wife loves the Bubbles shirt on me and the shark filter works excellent. Call me Bill in the thank you note on the next order. did I write something different? I don't know what I wrote. Maybe it was William or something. I don't know. But listen, we got an order the other day from a customer named Tim Allen.
Oh, yeah. That was so cool.
Now,
It was Tim Allen.
well, it was definitely Tim Allen, but was it Tim Allen? That I don't know. He's busy filming a new show, so I don't think it was that Tim Allen.
But he had time to order.
But I did have to
Or his
write on
fish
the
tank.
note. I had to write like, this filter has more power. Oh. You know, I hope you got a kick out of that. And I also wrote, I'm sure you've heard that before. There's no bigger fan on earth of Tim Allen than me. If that was the real Tim Allen, sorry, Bill Danforth, you would come in second to him. But anyway, Bill Danforth, look up Bill Danforth, skateboarder. And if you're not the real Bill Danforth, if you're not the Bill Danforth I'm talking about, you're probably going to be like, whoa, he thinks I'm that guy? Because he was kind of one of those, like, he looks like a Hell's Angel kind of guy. Bald head. He was what we would call a bad you-know-what back in the day.
Oh.
Anyway, I don't know where I'm going. Furloughs Aquatics, not going to lie, I'm jealous of Evan's Fish Room. Yeah, Evan Rifkin is his name. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. If you're not a channel member yet, you should consider joining just to see that and to see Eric's Fish Room and Lefty and all. Carling. We had Fish Tank Barn last week. We've had Chad Krotz. It's been so much fun. Go check those out.
Gosh, we really have done a few, haven't we?
We've done quite a few now, yeah. Catwoman VA, FYI, Jungle Aquatics in Virginia Beach has cube containers with lids, similar to Simply Bettas. With drip system, I approve. Now, see, I have not been there yet, so I didn't lie to you. That might be the Aqua One system. I don't know, but that's cool. It's good to hear that more stores are doing that. It is becoming more common that stores are bringing in those systems, which I think is awesome.
I'm so happy to hear that.
We entertained the idea of bringing those in. The Aqua One system, they're like 4 feet wide or something like that. They hold 32 tanks, and it has the sump system and all of that. But you're taking up this much room, which you can't even see because my hands are probably off camera, and it's only holding 32 fish. And that amount of space over there, we're holding like 80. So, in the same size. You know, these are the same size as what those tanks use or those systems use. So that was the thing that held us back from it.
But when we move out of here,
those system, I wouldn't do a fish store any other way. If you're going to do a fish store, you have to have those because they're just amazing. But if you're going to have it in a system like ours, we're not open to the public. It doesn't have to show like that.
right.
The square footage is too important for us, so that we can have more available to you. So, but if Jungle Aquatics is doing that, we've met the owner, and that doesn't surprise me because that dude, he does it right. So, at least I think, because I'm pretty sure it's the same guy that used to own Animal Jungle.
Yeah,
Isn't his
it
name
is.
Bill? Bill?
I forget.
Who cares?
Gosh, it's been like 10 years since we talked to him.
Yep. Aaron Solenberg, hello from Indianapolis. We love you guys. Can't get enough of your videos. That is awesome.
Aw,
Thank
that's
you.
so sweet.
We got plenty of them for you, so you should never run out. And you got plenty to watch. We'll keep you busy. Critter Mom became a new member.
That's a
She
cool
can
name.
now
I like that.
can now watch all of those members only tours, which are a lot of fun. Black Label Carling, we know who that is.
Yay!
Waiting for my first fish keeping order.
I packed your order.
That's not her first. She ordered before, didn't she?
Well, I packed her order this week. I just specifically remember because I was like, give me that. Remember? Because you were going to pack it. And I was like, no.
That's fine by me.
I think I even gave her more than one sticker.
Oh, we'll send you a bill, Carling, because those things are expensive.
Oh, whatever.
Karen Hyatt, I think, from New Zealand with a unicorn, which is awesome.
Cute.
Now, the next person, come on now, you rascal. This person set in a super sticker that says, how's it going? I can't say your name, and you know I can't. You rascal, you. Wit is the second word in the name, and it looks to be an extraordinarily angry Chihuahua as his avatar. So we gotta love that. It looks like Mags, actually. Very mad, and the name is a bad word that I can't say. Spelled differently, but still. Moonstone Aquatics, no message, just stay safe.
Aw.
No message, just stay safe.
Just because it's a nice thing to say.
That is nice. Wow, see?
You stay safe too.
It went over my head. I apologize about that. Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much.
That's really sweet.
It's just, it's crazy that happens. I just still don't understand it. Richard Maloney, because you and Big Steen have the same laugh and your betas will be shipped healthy. I love Oscars. I hit other because I have done all.
I didn't know I laughed like Bob.
Well, I think he's probably talking about me.
Oh.
Probably.
Okay.
But I don't know that I laugh like Bob either, because Bob has that vindictive kind of laugh. It's that, that's that kind of like, I don't know what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
My laugh when I'm not on camera is much more blah, like kind of like blubbery and crazy. But yeah, but I've never heard that we have the same laugh as Bob, or I do. I don't think it's you, but Josh Shore, new member. Thanks for everything, you two. That is awesome. So exciting. Go watch those members tours. They're fun. They're not as long as these streams, but they're, 45 minutes to an hour. Depends on how many tanks the people have. And Phantom 1699 and Matt Tabor, I hope it's pronounced Tabor, are both now going to have access to those. So very, very cool. And also don't forget to contribute to the posts. They're from yesterday, but you have access to them, because when you sign up as a member, you don't only have access to everything that happens from that point, you get access to all of the other stuff too. So definitely check that out. And it should be, anyway, I don't know about the community page, but I know the videos are accessible to you. If the community page is not, then just hold tight and wait till next week for the next topic that we'll bring up. It was 10 most controversial fish, 10 things about building a fish room, top 10 things about Corydoras, and then what was the fourth one? I don't remember.
I don't know.
And I'm not going to sit here all night and think about it either, but there's a fourth one in there too. Waddles. It's going to drive me crazy. Waddles with wolves. How do you feel about a hang on the back filter versus sponge filter for betas? The low flow from my hang on the back is causing my beta 10-gallon planted tank to look stagnant. So I'm going to give my 2 cents, and then you can absolutely, please give your 2 cents. The betas want that low flow.
Yeah. So,
and it's a 10-gallon tank, so you don't need, you don't need wild, crazy filtration on there anyway. So, if everything's stable, then, leave it alone. But
I mean, sponge filters are the way to go, though. So it's just better. I've done it both ways, but sponge filters are better.
If you have a really small hang on the back filter or an internal filter like the Micron that you can adjust the flow down. Yeah. Actually, no, not the Micron, because we're out of them.
All over the place.
Yeah. I mean, if you can turn the flow down on them, then, that's definitely good. But apparently yours doesn't have all that much flow anyway. I mean, if the water is stable, stagnant, nobody wants stagnant water, even though your beta will be fine in that.
Yeah. I mean,
but, you do want to, just to keep things moving, you don't want to have it completely stagnant. If your 10-gallon isn't doing it, I mean, I don't want to tell you to get a bigger hang on the back. I would just say go to the sponge filter. I agree with you. Mm-hmm. Go to a sponge filter.
I mean, I've even used a sponge filter that seemed like it was giving off a lot of, too much flow as well. So I just took the air tubing line and tied a knot in it, stuck it in there, and it didn't, give as much flow.
I wish I could show, because the 2.5-gallon tank that I have my guy in, If you haven't been watching the whole stream, you have no clue who my guy is. But it's a Nemo betta that I got over the weekend. He's my best friend. I put one of those small nano sponge filters that we have on our website because I didn't have to go far to go shopping for them. Right. With the USB air pump from Aquarium Co-op. I put that on that tank and it was like instantaneous. It cleaned that tank up really, really fast. It's 2.5 gallon tank though. It's small, but it would work really well on a 10 gallon tank too. So yeah, sponge filters are great. They will clean up the water. They're not going to create so much movement that it's going to blow your betta all over the place. There you go. Catwoman VA, again, I live nearby under 2.5 hours. Could I pick up a betta in person? Less stress on the fish, and USPS and FedEx have been horrible around here. We're not going to have anybody come to our house. That's just, I'm sorry, that's just going to be a no. And when you start to set the precedence that, oh, we'll meet you in the parking lot somewhere, then it's like, that's hard to do that kind of thing.
But I don't disagree with why she wants to do it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Because that's why we went and got the bettas ourselves. We drove 4 hours away just to go get them so they didn't have to go through shipping. So I think, yeah, it's a
No, I'm not
move.
saying, I don't disagree with it. It's just really hard for us to do.
But that's why we're also waiting till after Election Day so that we don't have to deal with that. And then we'll probably go through a phase where we're not doing it, shipping at certain parts before Christmas because of that as well. So
right. And the thing is, Catwoman VA, listen, we're not going to take these fish, throw them into a box, and ship them to you. And they're going to be banging all over the place and all of that. We're going to have these fish in more water than you're expecting. Yeah. The temperature is going to be fine because, first of all, it's not all that cold yet. And second of all, there's going to be a 72-hour heat pack in there. And if you're right down the road, so probably wouldn't even put one of those in there. Probably put it in there, put a 30-hour in there. But we're also not, we're going to have, like I said earlier, I'm taking credit for it. On all of the different things, fine-tuning the shipping, you're going to have options. Like in your situation, USPS and FedEx are a nightmare for you. Well, we're going to have UPS. Not only UPS, we're not going to go FedEx. FedEx is, in my experience shipping fish, FedEx is extraordinarily reliable. But your area might be different. And right now, I've actually heard bad things about FedEx. We got a shipment from FedEx last week and it was flawless, but I have heard more nightmare stories about FedEx than anybody else. But the whole point I'm trying to make is when you go on our site to order a fish, you're going to be able to choose Postal Service, Priority Express, which is also the Postal Service, UPS, overnight, next day air saver, all those things. You're going to have those options. And with you being so close, it's going to be dirt cheap. So,
and quicker.
I mean, we could charge $50 flat rate but nobody would buy fish. And that's just not fair because we would make a lot of money on a lot of shipments and I'm not into that. Sean Pilk, just wanted to thank you both for all the knowledge and help you have given me to get back into the hobby. Can't thank you enough.
Oh, that's sweet.
I'm going to give the same reaction that I always give. It never gets old hearing that. And I think I'm probably one of the only people that's willing to admit that. Yeah. That it's a beautiful thing to hear that. I appreciate it very much, more than you know. Sarah Jo Griffin became a new member. Welcome to the team. Whips World, I asked Corey and Fever, but I'm curious to hear your thoughts. Uh-oh, here we go. I got a pond from Menards. It's going in my basement. I need to build a base and I'd like to incorporate a sump. Would you drill it knowing how thin the plastic is?
That's definitely a question for you.
Well, first of all, we don't have Menards here in Virginia, so I don't know what you're getting from Menards. I've been to a Menards because I've been to Michigan twice. But I didn't look at ponds while I was there. But I'm assuming you're talking about those plastic pond liners that are very thin. that plastic is also flexible. It moves. If it's supported properly, and I would assume yours is going to be, and those are meant to be surrounded by dirt because they're meant to be put in the ground. If we're talking about the same ones, if it's supported from behind so that nothing's pulling on that where you drill it through and put your bulkhead in there, I would think that it would be fine. You can't be the only person that's ever wanted to drill through a pond. But if we're talking about drilling through the bottom, I wouldn't like that at all. If you're talking about drilling like for an overflow, which in a pond would be more like a skimmer, if you're going to put it up top, I don't know why I'm doing this, just waving my hands. If you're going to put it higher up on the wall, I think you would be fine. As long as you support it behind it. That's what I would say. But I've also never done it. So, don't take my word for it, but I know enough about construction and plumbing and all of those kind of things. I definitely would not want to do it in the bottom. Unless it is like in dirt, which it's going to be in your basement. It's not going to be in the dirt. And you're also not going to bury a sump in the dirt. So, I mean, yeah. But you know what you could do? You could get away with not drilling it at all. Just build a PVC overflow, cover it up with some rocks, and you'll be all right. I'm just saying. You don't even have to drill it. Why drill a pond? I wouldn't. But I think it would work. Black Label Carling, again, every single time I see her name, even though we've spoken to her, she was a guest on our, I always think of that hockey sport with the big curling. Her name's Carling, but I think of curling. Will you have single female bettas for sale? Sorry if you already answered. I know a certain apt fish keeper who is planning winter breeding projects. Oh boy, do we have an answer for you.
I think we need to talk because I've got pairs as well as females. So, do we have her email from?
I think we do.
Okay. Email me and I'll send you some little videos. It won't be tonight. It'd probably be tomorrow, but I can send you some videos because I don't know. I just want to share them anyways with people.
We have koi pairs. We have black samurai pairs. We have Nemo pairs, Hellboy pairs, blue rim pairs.
Dumbo.
The black samurais, y'all. I ain't gonna lie to you.
No, we do not have black samurai pairs. No.
Oh, that's right. Because you're going to keep it. Anyway, we do have one. It's just not going to be for sale because.
Anyways, there's plenty.
I love it. So, yeah, but to answer your question, there's going to be, I think you got like 40 females.
40 females, and we've got like a lot of pairs as well.
And some of those.
Have a male she wants.
Some of those match the males very, very well. So the answer to your question is yes, and we have pairs. Cole, again, with I don't remember his name, but it's the guy from the inconceivable guy from Princess Bride. I have a planted tank with a sunset honey gourami. What are some tank mates? I've never known those to be overly aggressive fish or anything like that. I could certainly be wrong. I've never kept that particular gourami, but I've certainly kept gouramis before. I would go with other community fish. You didn't give a tank size, so one of my very first go-tos is always going to be angels. But if it's a 20-gallon tank, I don't want to tell you angels.
Right.
But, community fish, you should have no problems at all. I mean, in my experience anyway, I could certainly be wrong, but I've been wrong a time or two. I even say the word betta wrong. Every time I say it, I'm saying it wrong.
I say Placo wrong.
I don't think people gave you more crap for that than they have given us for betta.
I have gotten so much crap for saying it that way, but I've said it that way even when we had the fish store. It's not like I purposely say it wrong. It's just that's the way I pronounce it. So whatever.
Let me make sure I'm caught up here because my thing is doing weird things like it always does. Why is this happening here to me? I hope I didn't miss anybody. Matthew Meyer was unable to get on earlier, but I thought I'd say hi now. Well, hello. Welcome. I can't see what time he put that in, but hopefully you're still here. We only got a few minutes left. Adam Brown for the rule benders. Yeah. We did a whole live stream about that. Me and Jason from Primetime Aquatics. It was a lot of fun talking about breaking the rules. It was a blast. It's on the channel. Go check it out. It's not a member stream. Anybody can watch it. Morgan H, you betta say betta because they're no betta. They're the alpha. Okay. See, I read it all wrong because I'm a stupid person. You betta say betta because they're no beta. They're the alpha. That's what it says. It just took me 2 tries to get through it. That's hilarious. Let's see here. Josh Share, I'm ordering Extreme from you guys. Bravo to you, sir. Thank you so much. If you order tonight, it'll go out tomorrow. I mean, we got the weekend to deal with, but you know. And then Morgan H decided, I'm assuming she wanted to watch all of those members only fish tours. So she decided to become a member. Welcome.
Aw,
and her
that's so
avatar
kind.
is a cat. So you'll be good friends with her.
Okay, I like Morgan.
And then we got Black Label Carling again.
What?
And this is going to start the debate. And this is going to take us to the end of the show because here comes the debate. Here it comes.
The fish debate?
Nope. Any hints, Carling, you don't even know what you've started.
Oh, yeah.
Any hints on where to get those cubes?
We were having that discussion today.
I need to start separating my spawns and can't find ones I really like. It's funny that you should ask that, Carling, because I said to the young lady sitting across the table from me, I said, we ought to, next time we get these, we ought to order 100, actually I said 150 extra, put 50 away because they are acrylic. We're going to drop them from now, every now and then.
Without fish in them.
And of course, we're always moving them around like this, which, when they got all the water in them, they're heavy. You might pop a seal or something like that on them. So it'd be nice to have the 50 in reserve and then sell the other 100. And this one said, I said, why? Because they're too small. We don't want people keeping betas in them. I said, I agree.
I don't want to give the impression that it's okay to keep them in long term as their permanent home.
I agree 1,000%.
And then I said, if we were going to do that, we should just keep the little teeny beta excuse me, the little beta setups with princesses and stuff like that on it. But you said,
What did I say?
You said why you thought it was a good idea to keep them and sell them was for the people that might be breeding.
Want to breed them? Yeah, people like Carling. Yeah,
Okay.
that was my point.
but
I don't want to sell these for people to set them up and have them on their desk and have their beta in it full
But you don't know what
time.
people are going to do with them, is what I'm saying. Once they leave here, you don't know what people are going to do with them. So
We also don't know.
we don't know what they're going to do with the betas either.
That's
Just
yeah.
hope they do the right thing.
You hope they do the right thing, and I think betas online. These are show quality betas here, folks. They're not $8.99. Somebody that's going to buy these from us, they're not just impulse buying a fish. They're buying fish because they know what they're doing. They're not going to buy these to house the beta in for the rest of their life. That's the argument that I made.
Melissa Jeswald made a good point. She said those acrylic containers are perfect hospital tanks for small fish. And I would say, yeah, for a beta, yeah. Not
Guppies.
Not an angelfish, or unless you know what I'm saying.
She ain't talking about angelfish. But yeah, I mean, shrimp,
I'm just trying
ember
to be
tetras,
specific.
cardinal tetras, guppies. Sure, there's a lot of fish that could be kept in there as a hospital tank. It's
Not
very
an
true.
Oscar.
No, my Oscars would not even fit in this. They would stick out about that far. It'd be quite cruel. They'd be wet, but they'd be quite cruel. But yeah, that was my whole point, was we've already had people ask because I showed these on my video on Tuesday. And in fact, if you want to know, the tank that I'm keeping my guy in is the tank I used in that video, the little 2.5 gallon tank. People asked about them. Yeah, I'm a betta breeder. How can I get those? That's why I said to have them, because they are hard to find. We bought these from the farm where we bought the fish. He had a bunch of them extra. And they're actually used. They look brand new, but they're actually used. But he is going to give me the number to the company that he had make them for him. He didn't buy them from a store somewhere. He had them made, and they're also not very cheap. They're $16 a piece. So we didn't pay that for them used, but brand new. They're not exactly cheap. So just be aware of that. But
It's almost cheaper to buy a little 5 gallon.
well, I got to tell you, I like the Beanie Baby containers. I mean, I think those work. You can buy them for like 25 for $80 or something like that. Yeah. And we thought about using those before we found these. So, that's not a bad idea either. And it's funny, a lot of people must be doing that because if you go on Amazon and you put those, you click on those, it actually says on the screen underneath it says, most people who buy these also buy this. And it was API aquarium salt.
That's funny.
So apparently a lot of fish keepers are buying those. But if you don't know what I'm talking about, just put in Beanie Baby display case. They're taller and more narrow. And they have lids too. So it's a thinner plastic. They're not meant to hold water, but they do hold water, and a lot of people use them. So we got to get through these. Catwoman, again, just won't stop tonight. Yesterday, I got a 15-gallon Hex for my first betta tank. Oh. Today, I ordered a Micron. Jolly nice. And dark water from you. Excellent.
That's awesome.
Should be set by the time the bettas are here. Yes.
Yeah, that's a real nice tank.
I hope a 15... Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, that's excellent, actually. Because I have a Jolly in that one, and it's perfect. A lot of people put the Jollies in really teeny tiny tanks, and they might be a little too strong for that, but not a 15-gallon, because that's what I've got going over there. Keeps it right around 80. It's that hot down here already now because it's so hot down here. But
I tried.
I believe that's it. I think we are all caught up, and it's perfect timing, too, because there is another YouTuber streaming right now. No. We are overstepping. He's not?
No, you're not caught up.
I thought I was.
Who? Hold up. No?
See, this thing is being dumb for me tonight. I thought we were caught up. Let me refresh. No. Well, maybe if you read a few of them now and then. What the heck? Oh, geez.
I told you.
Josh Scher, sorry. My Octopus Teacher on Netflix. Please watch it. It's an aquatic documentary we can all appreciate. I watched it last night, and it blew me away. Well, now that I know what it is, I think I will watch that. Yeah, I'll certainly do that. That's easy enough to remember, too. So thank you for the heads up on that. Like I said, I'm obsessed with The West Wing. I love that show. And I just got done watching The Haunting of Bly Manor, and that is amazing. We just finished that last night. Not as good as Hill House, but really, really good.
I didn't even like that one.
Well, that's because you don't like good TV shows.
You have to finish watching this show.
Josh Scher again.
I stopped watching it.
I know. Shame on you. Everyone here would appreciate it. I promise. Cage Tropicals is the best. It paid $25 to tell people about My Octopus Teacher on Netflix. We all have to watch that. We all are going to demand a full report on that for next week's stream. Maybe next week's stream, the title will be My Octopus Teacher. Harley Slater became a new member, and Gilbert Sanchez. Yay. I'm ready for my new bettas when y'all are. Love you guys. Yeah, they're coming. Like I said, you want to go on the site and check them out. There's at least some of them. More will go up tomorrow. I'm going to be putting them up as much as I can. It's kind of a pain in the butt, but you know, it's worth it because I think that that's a no-brainer. If you can see the fish, not just a picture, not making fun of anybody who only does a picture, but if you're able to see that fish moving around, you know, you get to see both sides of it and all this. Some of them didn't cooperate as much. They might sit in the back or whatever, and you know, maybe I'll redo those. But most of them, as soon as I put that camera on, they come up and they're like, "Hey, what's up?" And they're, you know, dancing and all this, and it's awesome. So, like I said, I got the Hellboys and the Nemos done because those are my two favorites. Tomorrow will be the Koi Galaxies and the Black Samurais and the Blue Rims, and maybe the rest. I don't know. But again, they're not for sale, but you'll at least be able to go on there and watch the videos on them. We've got a lot of work to do before they can be for sale. So anyway, that's that. So I don't have anything more to say other than thank you all so much for hanging out. I'm going to do it. You should be ready by now. You know I'm going to do this. I'm going to pass it off to you, and you get to close us out.
All right. Well, thank you so much for watching and tuning in. I know there's other things you could be doing on a Thursday night, but you came to join us, and that's awesome. And we will see you next Thursday. So have a wonderful weekend.
Bye.